All right. So picking up where we left off, there's an understanding, an experiential understanding, where understanding and experience came together and revealed through your direct perception that which is present on your mat is a no-thingness. No thoughts, no things, no ways, no body, no gender, no wisdom, no you, no mass, no weight, no size, no color, density, and no location. But yet you knew that you didn't cease to exist, correct? It's because it was self-evident. A candle doesn't need another candle to light it up and say, oh, there's a candle. It's self-luminous. And that which you are, when they speak of the light of knowledge, the light of consciousness, it's a device to point towards a self-evident recognition. So we want to nurture that self-evident recognition and cultivate the ability to be engaged in action, any action, while resting in that self-luminous knowing, so that we immediately recognize things that come up and appear. If you look closely, that which you are, no thoughts of things, no ways about it, it immediately recognized when something showed up between your palms, didn't it? And if it was the first time, maybe you went like, whoa! That's an afterthought. I mean, it was, oh! So that there's a kind of experiential understanding that you've seen that the activity of thought is actually a half a beat behind that who you actually are. And this cultivating a capacity to rest, gives you the possibility to respond appropriately to what's right in front of you, rather than responding through your memory of the past and your projection into the future. Am I making sense? So we're using some variations on Hatha Yoga postures as just a device for action. It can be done washing dishes, walking the dog. It actually can be used even when you think you're angry. All you have to do is ask yourself, what's wrong with this? Oh God, I'm thinking about it and I've worked myself into a fit. So our whole point is to start by being deeply, deeply relaxed and maintaining that throughout our entire time together. And I don't expect you to be professional at this and do it all the time. There'll be breaks. We use a concept of the first and second half of the pose. So there's an active part of it. And then there's a part for you to, again, relax, and soak in just observing the movement of energy in your body. And we are going to add, in a sense, moving in an attunement with that energy. In the same way that you pressed and pulled your hands apart and together, yes, and you were constantly connected to the sensation between the hands, yes? It wasn't like, oh, it disappeared, oh, it came back. It was, this is an energy sensation, and old accumulations in your body, when you run into them, it's just simply, without labels, it's just an energy accumulation. So the same thing will be going towards the hot spots in your body where you have accumulated some old stuff, but in a way that's so deeply, deeply relaxed that you can just simply lovingly begin to rinse it loose a little bit. Am I making sense here with these analogies? And I'll give you some guidance as things go along. Any questions? All right, wonderful. So once again, to start, let's synchronize as friends. So if you would be so kind as to sit attentively, but without making yourself overly concerned with your position. And once again, gently close your eyes, simply to reduce the amount of sensory data that's being processed. Without struggle and without strain, gently begin to lengthen the depth of your inhalations and exhalations just slightly. Relax your abdomen, relax your shoulders. Begin to allow all expression to fade from your face. When it feels appropriate, once again, please add the sound of your voice. Just the sound of as the sound fades, sit comfortably, being knowingly aware of being aware in this energetic gathering of friends in the waking state. Please keep all of your movements slow. This is a tip from Swami Kripalu. In the beginning, it's very helpful to keep your movements slow. From my point of view, it adds a unique quality of attentiveness in your movement. And if you are comfortable in the position seated on your heels, slowly and gently move into that position. If you're even the slightest bit uncomfortable seated on your heels, please remain comfortably seated, cross-legged on your pillow or blanket. Hands resting lightly, knees or thighs. Take a deep breath in, hold the breath, lift the chest, lift the chin, lean back slightly, and as you exhale, slowly begin to fold forward and down, just till everything seems to stop, allowing the hands to support you wherever they naturally fall. Hold the breath out momentarily, please do not strain. And as the breath naturally comes back in, allow that expansion of your lungs to begin to uncurl the upper body, come back to the upright position, hold the breath, lift the chest, lift the chin, lean back just a bit. And now feel your own breathing rhythm and begin to enter into this synchronization of breath and movement. Doesn't matter how far forward you fold. You're staying relaxed. And see if you can relax just a bit more now that you've established this effortless breathing rhythm, synchronizing your movements. Relax so much that you can allow a slight elongation of the suspension of breath at the bottom of the exhalation and the top of the inhalation. The old-timers consider this suspension of breath a sweet spot. The illuminative light of awareness shines brightly when the breath is suspended, noticing the absence of mental activity. And the purpose of recognizing this sweet spot, the absence of mental activity, is that you can cultivate the direct perception that this knowing presence is continuous, even while the breath is flowing in and out. We've already recognized it's constantly available in our second experience with the Kriya of Chitta and Pran. Rather than being startled, you are now investigating its continuousness, its unbrokenness, while engaged in action. Any action. The next time you find yourself in the upright position, hold the upright position. If at any point you start to become uncomfortable seated on your heels, you're completely free to slowly adjust to a comfortable seated position. Hands resting lightly, knees or thighs. Palms up. Relax. Once again, bring your attention to the center of the abdomen. Noticing that there's now subtle sensations at the center of the abdomen that a moment ago were not present. And again, begin to add the feeling visualization of being able to breathe in and out a small opening at the center of the abdomen. Notice how the feeling visualization has amplified the focus of attention and amplified the sensations that accompany that focus of attention. This is hugely important in transforming your life from focusing on the mishigas to focusing on the presence that you are. As you take your next breath in, draw the breath in through the center of the abdomen. Feel your attention once again stretch up into the torso and breath exiting a small opening in the center of the chest. The breathing pattern once again as you're drawing the breath in through the center of the abdomen. Notice this presence that's feeling the stretch of attention as the breath exits center of the chest. And let your ears be once again captivated by the soft sound of your own breath, gently flowing in and out. As you take your next breath in, draw the breath in through the center of the abdomen, close off that opening. Feel the sensations along with your attention rising up in the torso. And now feel as though you could actually breathe in and out through the center of the chest. All of your attention focused center of the chest. Again, noticing any subtle sensations. The sensations are prior to mental labels, prior to imagination and memory. simply raw sensation at the center of the chest. As you take your next breath in, draw the breath in through the center of the chest, split the breath in two, and let it radiate down the arms. And exit small openings, one in the palm of each hand. Again, you're feeling the sensations moving with your attention from the center of the chest down the arms into the palms. And noticing again how the breath is actually breathing you. As you take your next breath in, draw the breath in through the center of the chest. Close off that opening. Let the sensations and your attention stream down the arms with the feeling visualization of being able to breathe in and out through the palms of the hands. Feel how they're filling with a tingling sensation. How your attention is directing energy. Once again, allowing the hands to begin to lift up off the knees or thighs. In that same slow, almost imperceptible motion, begin to rotate the forearms and the palms. When you feel the palms facing one another, begin to bring them together without allowing them to touch until you feel the recognizable sensation between the palms. All experience announces awareness. What knows that? Again, pressing and pulling your hands apart and together. This is referred to as a micro movement, where you are still connected to the sensation between the palms continuously, even while you're exploring its edge. And as you press and pull your hands apart and together, feel the sensation on the front and the back of the hand. It's as though the hands are sandwiched. We will use this in a few minutes. But for the time being, begin to feel if this energetic sensation between the palms has any other shape to it. Does it have any other sides? Is there a top? Bottom, beginning to loosen up in the arms and the shoulders, and feel by pressing and pulling right on the energetic edge. See if you can feel around this recognizable sensation. Slowly begin to allow the hands to float back down into the knees or thighs. Sit comfortably, enjoying the absence of mental activity. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow the chin to come towards the chest. When it goes as far as possible, begin to roll the right ear towards the right shoulder and make a smooth, slow, rotating motion, head and neck. Go slow so you can stay completely at ease. But you're watching for the sensations that arise, the old accumulations. These sensations, without labels or memory, are simply energetic sensations. The old accumulations and the natural intelligence of that accumulation is calling you to, psst, please pay attention here. And as you make the second rotation, line up on the sensation where you feel the most limitation, tightness, right on that hot spot. And relax. Relax. And now right on that hot spot, a little roll over to the front, a little roll over to the back. And notice how you can stay connected to the sensation, but you're still engaged in this little micro movement, lovingly encouraging a release. As you exhale, you can enter a little deeper into the sensation. As you inhale, come out a little bit, just like you pressed your hands apart and together. And again, notice how you're absorbed in the sensation without a lot of mental activity, revealing that illuminative light that you recognized as the knowing presence without objects is now simply the knowing presence with the object of this sensation, without a label, without memory, association. As you inhale, begin to bring the head back to the neutral position. And if you feel anything in the shoulder or the arms, you need to make a movement to digest what's been released. Feel completely free. This also is an intelligent expression of your own vital life force. Bring your attention to the point on your forehead between your eyebrows and reset in stillness. And again, notice the knowing presence that recognizes stillness is the same knowing present that recognize the accumulations and their sensations. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly begin to lower the chin towards the chest. And you're familiar with this. Roll around to the left. Go slow, please, so that you feel every sensation. And again, you're feeling your way into the accumulations that you have been holding. Neck and shoulders. And when you feel the message through sensation going, psst, please pay attention here again. Line right up on it. And relax. And then gently begin to make the small micro movements. And notice the purpose of this is that realization of how you can be engaged in action, even one that has some discomfort, and still remain steady, anchored as this knowing presence. Begin to allow the head and neck to come back to the neutral position. And reset. Take a deep breath in. And this time, allow the whole torso to fold forward. And this time, as you make a rotation around to the right, head, neck, shoulders, torso, even the hips can be engaged. And you're just taking a big exploratory movement to feel where your body's accumulations are now. And once you pick up the fragrance, find the spot where the accumulation is the loudest. This is an energy message from prana. The only language your body has to communicate with you is sensation. Please listen attentively. And once again, when you've lined right up on it, begin to make those small micro movements. A loving rinse. Gently encouraging the muscles to relax. When you feel them open, move a little deeper into the release. You can always come out. If you've become a little zealous, remember you're experimenting how to remain that resting presence while engaged in action. Gently begin to, on an inhaling breath, come back towards the neutral position. Again, if there's any sensations arising that prompt you to move in such a way to digest what's been released, feel free to accommodate those movements. When you feel steady, attention at the point on your forehead between your eyebrows, and simply enjoy being, knowing presence. Take another deep breath in, and this time as you exhale and fold forward, go around the other direction. You're familiar with the process here. You're feeling where you are holding accumulations. When you feel some of that message, again, line right up on it, using small micro movements. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be this absorbed in every action all day long? Even in the most mundane. A little bit back and forth, a little bit in and out. Exhale and release a little deeper. Beginning to come back towards the neutral position. Go slow. And if you feel some of what's been released, prompting you to make some movements to integrate, accommodate, digest what's been released, feel completely free to do so. You're learning how to be in this attunement. Reset. We've been sitting for a while. Go slow and feel your way to a standing position. Bring your feet together, but yet maintain your balance. Stand tall by pressing into the feet. Feel this alignment, and now extend up through the body, out the crown of the head. It's a very specific feeling. Gently begin to bring the hands in front of the heart in prayer position. Interlace the fingers so that the index fingers are extending up, commonly referred to as temple. Exhale. And as you inhale, begin to extend the arms up overhead, arms to the ears and slightly back. Drop the tailbone, firm through the inner thighs and buttocks. Press down into the feet, and maintaining that, now lift up out of the torso. Extend up through the crown of the head, out through the fingertips. If at any point you start to struggle, just come out a little bit. We're cultivating the ability to be engaged in action, but remaining at ease. Long, deep, relaxed breaths. I know that there are some strong sensations arising in the shoulders. And again, on the muscles that the contractions become recognizable, small micro movements. A little bit left and right. Relax the shoulders a little bit. Perhaps a little movement in the hips. Can you relax the shoulders? Let the lower ribs float back down on the spine. Remember, you're completely free. Please do not struggle to come out a little bit if you need to. Take a deep breath in, And as you exhale, press the left hip to the left as you extend the upper body to the right, keeping the hips and shoulders aligned to the front. Press down into the left foot and feel a line of sensation come up through the whole left side body. Now that you feel the muscles that are tight, again, begin to make small micro movements, lovingly encouraging them to release. Chin up a little bit, please. Remember, if you start to struggle, just come out. We're learning how to be engaged in action and stay relaxed, at ease, even when there's some discomfort. Long, slow, relaxed breaths. On your next inhaling breath, press down into the feet. Come back to the neutral position. If you need to release the arms just a little bit to relax in the shoulders, feel free to do so. When you feel that ease, again, fingertips towards the ceiling. Catch up with us when you can. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press the right hip to the right as you extend the upper body to the left. Immediately press down into the right foot and feel a line of sensation come up through the body, right out through the fingertips. You're beginning to feel the muscles where you're holding these old accumulations. And once again, enter into small micro movements. You're in a rinse cycle here, not a toleration cycle. You're lovingly encouraging the muscles to relax. And in order to do that, you have to be relaxed. Long, slow, deep breaths. Pressing down into the feet, inhale, come back up to center. Let the shoulders relax a little bit. For those of you who can, drop the tailbone firm through the inner thighs and buttocks. Press down into the feet and now lift the chest. Lift the chest, lift the chest, lift the chest. And bring the pubic bone forward slightly, coming into a slight standing back bend. You're only going to your edge. You can still make small micro movements. And you know if you cross your legs one way long enough, you're just going to automatically cross them the other way. I'm not going to bring you out of this pose. You know this is a strong pose, and when you release, there'll be a flood of sensation that prompts you how to integrate and digest what's been released. Please follow those subtle cues from the intelligence of the body and allow a natural response to this strong back bending pose. And notice how you can feel the intelligence of this energy that's prompting you to digest with a complementary movement. As you recognize while chanting Om, you already have the capacity to feel and recognize the innate intelligence of prana. We're expanding that capacity. If you're not dangling forward, just allow the upper body to hang forward, arms towards the floor like empty coat sleeves. You can bend one knee and then straighten it, then the other knee and straighten it. You can bring the weight towards the balls of the feet, perhaps extending from the navel to the sternum. No need to worry about your toes, just where everything seems to stop. And once again, small micro movements to encourage the release of these old accumulations. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, begin to bend the knees, coming into a squatting position. If this is uncomfortable for you, we're going towards a comfortable seated position, just go ahead and we'll be with you shortly. For those of you who are in the squatting position, again, you're feeling the body, a little bit movement left and right, releasing in the low back, shoulders, head and neck. And when you feel complete, comfortably take cross-legged seated position. When you find yourself in the cross-legged position, just notice what are you doing mentally? There you go. Reset. You can feel the whole room. Gently begin to extend the right leg out on the floor at a slight angle to the torso. Place the hands on the extended thigh. Take a deep breath in, hold the breath, lift the chest, lift the chin, lean back slightly. And as you exhale, slide the hands down the extended leg just till everything stops. Please don't be concerned about your toes. You're just feeling where the body naturally stops. Hold the breath out momentarily. And as the breath naturally comes back in, allow that expansion of the lungs to uncurl the upper body. Come back to the upright position. Hold the chest, lift the chin, lean back slightly. And now feel your own breathing rhythm and continue into this meditation in motion, synchronizing this knowing presence with breath and movement. Again, so relaxed that you can allow that natural elongation of the suspension, top and bottom of inhalation, exhalation, where again the illuminative light of knowing shines brightly without the necessity of any object. The next time you find your body in the forward fold, hold the forward fold. You may have noticed in this effortless movement, fingers went a little farther without you efforting it. Now that you are beginning to feel the muscles that are restricted, again, begin to move into the little micro movements by rocking a little bit left and right. Again, perhaps extending navel to sternum. And now you are completely free to make whatever variations, to change sides. Feel the language of your body, to move into whatever position is appropriate, whether it's changing sides or another position, or whether you're just absorbed in this position. And allow yourself to be carried on sound vibration into a deeper felt sense of absorption. Cannot do anything wrong Even if you're prompted to be still, notice how that stillness arises out of absorption rather than doubt or confusion. Uncensor yourself and allow a complete freedom to this innate intelligence that has radiated your life. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gently guiding the body towards a comfortable seated position. Go slow. ever so slightly, pull up on the pelvic floor. And gently begin to squeeze the muscles as though you were going to stop the flow of urine or elimination. And now gently pull the navel towards the spine. And now hold that contraction as you inhale and bring your visualization up from the abdomen, center of the chest, throat, third eye, top of the head, and squeeze the muscles just slightly, 2-3 times. Relax the muscles, relax the breath. And now find your own breathing rhythm that you can very gently, you're just lovingly encouraging the energies that have been released to rise up into the higher centers. Create no sense of urgency, next breath in or out. If at any point you need to take a break, just do a couple of relaxed breaths in between. This is just ever so slightly, the slightest bit of drawing energy upward that has been accumulated in old Mishigas, lodged in the body as tightness and accumulation. And begin to feel how the skull is filled with sensation. Relax all of the breathing technique. Focus your attention, if possible, 6 to 8 inches above the head, and allow meditation to happen. Resting as knowing presence, where you can allow life to come to you. And there is an immediacy of appropriate response without the old accumulations of memory, imagination, and association coloring your perception. Rest as knowing presence. Hara Hara Mahadeva, Hara Hara Mahadeva. As the sound fades, slowly and gently, allow your hands to float up in prayer position in front of your heart. And begin to allow a felt sense of reverence to well up within you for what you have seen about the self that you are. The self is the source of the whole universe. It fashions all forms of its own consciousness. Though all forms are changing and soon fade away, the one conscious self is forever the same. Nurture this direct perception, this revelation. Nurture and cultivate this sensitivity and attunement so that it may fill everything that you do. And you may extend it to everyone that you meet. And thank you, dear friends, for this opportunity to give what I have received. There is only one self, and we are not separate. Again and again and again. Jai Bhagwan. Victory to that which you are. Jai Bhagwan.